Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 2v2. That is right, a 2v2 on Rails and Metal. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. Swiftsabre, playing as the British forces in the yellow. And his ally in the blue is going to be Mr. DessertStorm, or more like DessertStorm, playing as another British forces. So we're going to have double Brits. Their opponents are going to be Mr. Transistor, playing as the Ostir, or Wehrmacht faction, in the red. And his ally is going to be Mr. Kreiselficker? Kreiselficker? I don't know, Kreis. Playing as the Ostir or Vanguard faction in the pink or purple trunks, depending your preference. So we're going to have ourselves a double Brits versus a double Ostir. So continuing on the Brit week, well, we're going to see how they play out as a team. I don't think I'm going to be going for bigger games than this, but, you know, get ourselves a little bit of an idea. So, right off the bat, we see Mr. Swiftsabre going for a double infantry sections with a universal carrier already out on the field. His ally going for pretty much the same thing. And we see a Vickers machine gun coming up after that. Universal carrier popping out as it runs straight into a grenadier squad. Didn't really need to do so. I believe it actually ran off a little bit because it was fearing the Faust, but the Faust was still not there. The munitions were a little bit off, so it could have actually sat there a little bit more and done a little bit of extra damage. So one thing to kind of keep in mind, you know, and know when your munitions, you know, tick, you know, that 2-minute mark is kind of around where the Faust can go off. So, anyways, so let's continue to see. We see the big engagement here in the center as the both universal carriers trying to mow down and shoot and scoot essentially against the approaching infantry. They managed to make themselves a little bit back. Faust is going to go off, gets a good hit there on that universal carrier. Universal carrier down to low health. Down goes for Swiftsabre, and the other universal carrier remains strong. The Kreiselficker does have a sniper on the field, which I'm going to see if we can give a tab on. If I do this as a switch, it does switch. That's kind of cool. And Transistor has simply gone for Grents, and MG. One Grent squad going down here in the center on the retreat, as the universal carrier is still up and active. And of course, we do have Tommy's infantry sections on the field, able to provide some additional support. MG42 coming onto the field for Transistor, getting a good pin there on the center squad. Gonna be forcing them to retreat. We do have a sniper behind the lines, potentially coming in for a bit of a flank. Universal carrier very low in health, gonna be retreating. It does have access to repairs, but not until it gets Veterancy 1. So essentially, it is dead in the water right now. It'll need to wait until DessertStorm can field himself the engineers, which he can now. So it shouldn't be too. Wait, actually, that's Swiftsabre, but he can likewise. So yeah, should be getting one relatively soon, I would assume. So the sniper up in the north does end up retreating, as a universal carrier could have easily chased it down and killed it. Universal carrier going to be turning itself around, and it looks like the left-hand side flank is going to be completely open. Over here on the right-hand side, we see the MG42s just cross-firing on the infantry section, forcing it to get away. We do have that Vickers machine gun inside this house. This is a very, very important house in this map. It controls a large area of the map. Didn't there used to be a second house around this map? Or has it always been this small little shack? I can't remember there was a bigger house nearby. Changes do happen, of course. I don't actually remember if Rails and Metal was one of the ones that got changes in the recent patch. I could maybe check that. It'll take a while, but, you know, I'll double check just in case. So in the meantime, Grand Squad over here getting suppressed and potentially pinned down here to the Vickers machine gun. The Vickers machine gun not that great at suppression, or even in damage. It looks like it doesn't look to be that good. It's kind of like the MG34 for the Allies part, you know. Doesn't really do too well against anything, but it's there in case, I guess, you want to have one. So anyways, right-hand side, we see a big push here by Transistor. 2 Grens and an MG42 going to be getting right on top of that victory point. All 3 victory points are going to be capped by the Austere, the Germans, the Axis, and they are going to get the points rolling against the Brits. We do have an S minefield laid down over here on the northern, or, well, not really that northern, but I guess kind of a little bit more. But yeah, the victory point over on the left-hand side. And we see the infantry sections pushing, so more stuff for DessertStorm coming, more infantry sections getting produced. We do have a sniper on the field for Swiftsabre. Ah, shit. There you go. Well, there we go. 1 sniper here, 1 sniper there. Anybody else with the sniper? No. So only 2 snipers. Sniper has gotten 9 kills so far. We got flamethrowers purchased on the carrier. The carrier going to be trying to burn the Grenadier squad before it does anything. Manages to scare it enough that it's unable to throw a Faust off, and it forces it to retreat. Sniper is on the field, taking some shots at the carrier itself. Going to get itself burned alive. Can it make it out of there? Well, Madak, no, it's going to die. Yeah, it's going to die. There it goes. So, Kreiselficker, not paying attention there, ends up losing his sniper and quite a bit of infantry. Down to only a Gren squad and an MG. Over on the right-hand side, the sniper for Mr. Swiftsabre, doing quite a bit of work here as the infantry section pops itself inside that trench. Unfortunately, though, it's not well positioned, and the men behind are... Oh, that's a nasty grenade. Down to 1 man, forces a retreat. Can he make it out? Yeah, he can make it out. But the sniper did do a decent amount of damage to the Grens, forcing them to back away. Tier 2 has gone down for Mr. Transistor. He's going to get himself a half-track. And back at the base, Kreiselficker is also at Tier 2, and he is going to go for the 222. Wise choice, considering that, you know, he doesn't need a half-track, considering he doesn't really have a lot of infantry left. Royal Engineers now on the field, able to repair the Universal Carrier. Universal Carrier, however, is now equipped with Veteran C2, even though it's not an equipment, but it has it. And that basically allows it to repair itself, and then it says increase weapon burst length and accuracy, so that's nice. Meaning the flamethrowers burst off even further. Second Universal Carrier on the field for Swiftsabre. This one has been upgraded with the Vickers mounted machine gun, increasing the firepower and allowing a wider arc of fire. Not sure if it actually provides any type of suppression. I would assume it doesn't. So that would make it pretty ridiculously strong, although maybe it does, I don't know. Still, though, of course, it has essentially an extra MG on top of it, which means it's going to do quite a bit. 222 over on the left-hand side, going to be engaging against the Engineers. The Engineers have gotten upgraded with sweepers to be able to clear the S minefield. However, the 222 is going to be pushing them around, trying to clear them off. We do have a Vickers machine gun right behind that, getting a decent amount of damage there on that 222. The 222 down to about half health is going to be forced to get the hell out of there. And the Grens trying to move up to support the infantry section. Pretty hardy, pretty strong, able to withstand against the Grens decently. Rifle grenade flies and impacts against the wall, doesn't do pretty much any damage there, so the infantry section is actually quite lucky there. It didn't even try to move. And on the far right-hand side, we see some Grens trying to go for a flanking run here on the Universal Carrier. The sniper is still alive for Mr. Swiftsabre, but it's currently coming up back there. Grens close range, down to 2 men on one squad, down to 1 on the other. Can he actually pick it up? Getting some good shots off on it. Oh, manages to snipe it at the end. And down goes a Gren squad for Mr. Transistor. Flamethrowers equipped on the half-track for Transistor. Going to be flushing out that Vickers machine gun from inside that house. Vickers machine gun taking quite a bit of damage. And the Universal Carrier is trying to engage. Half-track trying to catch the MG on the retreat, manages to catch one of the infantry members, but that is about it. Sniper taking a shot, then retreating as it doesn't want to get a little bit flamey. And we see Doctrine selection for DessertStorm, and that is the Vanguard Operations Regiment, and he calls in the Forward Logistics Glider. Not sure where it landed exactly. Oh, there it is. Landed here, which means this sector produces more resources. It's supposed to. And the half-track took about half damage. Universal Carrier still around, supporting the infantry. Double medical infantries. Infantry sections. Pushing over on the right-hand side. And DessertStorm calling in a 222 of his own. Not DessertStorm, sorry. Transistor. I am a little bit out of touch on how to cast 222s. So anyways, the infantry section gonna sit there in front of the 222 and take a beating. However, with 2 grunts coming up behind them, they are gonna have to retreat, and they do, managing to decap the point, so making it a little bit annoying there. We do see mines getting laid down for Swiftsabre, modified M6, and over on the left-hand side, we see the flank has fallen as DessertStorm is unable to hold. Does have the carrier out on the field, also has the commander, and we also see that a Commando squad is getting produced. Kind of sucks though that it doesn't get produced from the building, which was kind of a nice thing. Oh, actually it does. Never mind. Wow, I'm stupid. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So you can actually produce it from there. It's not just a resource building and they'll run out of the field, which makes sense. But you know, why didn't they get out of there originally? Who knows? 222 annihilating the universal carrier over here on the right-hand side. AT gun trying to take a shot at it, manages to miss completely as it impacts the corpse of the universal carrier. We do still have the sniper around, sniper retreating as the 222 is trying to chase it down, although it is more focused on the AT gun. We also see the Vickers machine gun suffering a lot of damage and getting killed by the grunts as the grunts get right on top of the AT gun, and Swiftsabre gets broken over on the right-hand side. Royal Engineers retreating may actually die here as they have to retreat through a lot of infantry fire, and the 222 very low in health, but it looks like they're barely going to make it out of there. As we see the commandos pushing around in the center. Infantry section standing around in the center trying to get themselves into cover. We see the commandos popping up a little bit forward. Their SMGs getting some shots off in there, but they need to close the distance to be able to do the amount of damage they need. Managing to cloak themselves as they move out of combat, I guess. And we see a light gammon bomb. Oh, right on top of the Grand Squad. Down goes the Grand Squad for Kreiselficker, and the commandos are still online. Commando's going to be closing the distance, getting right on top of those piles. The piles could get eliminated very quickly. No, they hit retreat and manage to stay alive. Can they do enough damage here to the 222 as they chase it down? It is Veteran C3. They could potentially pick up the kill. No, manages to make it out of there and get some good hits on the Commando squad as it moves out of the way. Still alive, still trying to retreat, but still in danger. The 222 for Transistor still on the field. And Swiftsabre has lost quite a lot. Has gotten himself the company command post, so I'm assuming he's probably going to be bringing in some vehicles. While DessertStorm is still not teched. Back at base, we got Mr. Kreiselficker building some more grunts from his tier 1. No additional... No, he does have tier 3, actually. Never mind, I'm looking at it right there. So we'll probably see some... oh, never mind. We already have the Panzer IV on the field. Panzer IV is just coming in right now. So that's going to be a good push there for the Axis. And back at base, we don't have any additional tech for Transistor. Swiftsabre has gone for his Doctrine. That is the Commando Regiment. So he calls in a glider of his own. While Transistor has gone for his Doctrine. That is the Close Air Support Doctrine. Push over on the right-hand side by Swiftsabre. His infantry section and the sniper doing quite a bit of work. Sniper, 7 kills already. The Commando's getting right on top of everything. They're going to pop out of that truck. And there goes the damage. Down to 1 man on 1 squad. Down to 2 on the second. There goes the grenade. Getting 2 Gren kills and doing a lot of damage to the piles. That was a great strike there by those Commandos and Swiftsabre. The glider is still online. And could potentially be... Does that glider still able to provide? Not sure if this one can still produce. Looks like it could, but maybe it's just reinforcements. No, not even reinforcements. I don't exactly know. But anyways, it is going to go down here as we see a shot flies to the rear armor of the half-track, doing quite a bit of damage. The sniper is going to be retreating as the Panzer IV tries to take it out. Takes a shot, misses, going to chase it down. Coaxial gun is going to be taking some shots at the sniper. Can the sniper make it out of there? Manages to dodge once again and takes a couple shots there. Just a flesh wound and stays alive. Far right-hand side, the 222 engaging that infantry section. Going to have to retreat again. And the Vickers has been left there on the field as well as the AT gun, which is kind of surprising. But, man, Swiftsabre doing a big hit there to Transistor. He eliminated 2 Grand Squads and quite a bit of Pios. Still, though, the Axis have managed to control most of the map, and the victory points are going to get another triple cap going. They themselves are holding steady at 499, while the Brits have been brought down to 299. I'm actually kind of surprised that these Brits are playing as active as they are. Usually, especially in team games, well, maybe I'm wrong, but at least from what I remember, you would see a lot of SimCity, right? A lot of utilizing those emplacements and those buildings. I mean, you have access to quite a bit of things here as the Brits, reinforcement locations and such, so, you know. Infantry section gonna get killed there in the center, down to one man. Sliver of health, can it make it out? No, of course it can. There's two Grens nearby with LMGs. Commandos popping the wall, gonna get themselves on top of the infantry. We see a Stuka anti-infantry strafe coming up right on top of all the infantry there for DessertStorm. There goes the strafe, managing to get the pin on the commando squad. The artillery, or no, sorry, air landing officer, managing to stay alive, but I mean, stay unsuppressed is what I'm trying to say. But with an MG bunker already set up there for the Axis, they are unable to push through the center, and the 222 comes in to push him away. AT gun moves up, gets a good shot on the 222, managing to kill it, but it has a Gren squad right in front of it, which means it's going to get itself killed. Infantry sections and commandos over on the right-hand side by Swiftsabre coming up to support, getting some good hits in there, forcing the retreat. And we see Panzer Grenadiers trying to move up, but they're just going to get themselves annihilated there, not even going to be able to retreat. And there they go. MG42 popping inside this house, going to get some good hits there on all the infantry. The commandos trying to move themselves out of the way. The sniper, 8 kills so far, unless it got reproduced. And we see not much on the field for either side. AT gun still moving around with its sights currently locked onto the vehicles. We see the 6-pounder gun getting stolen by Transistor over on the right-hand side. Going to be setting up a defensive position over here. We do have sandbags and an MG already set up here to defend the zone as the MG inside the house gets flushed out. So it might have actually gotten killed. See some bodies in there. I think it's still alive. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Team game. Too many things happened. Tier 4 going to be going down for Transistor, so he himself is not going to be going for Tier 3, skipping all the way. Back at base, we see Tier 4 not being built, but getting research there for Mr. Kreiselficker. As DessertStorm and Swiftsabre just sit there a little bit. AT gun getting some good shots there on that Panzer IV. The Panzer IV trying to back off, still in range. Bit of a flank trying to go down as the half-track and the 222 engage. But the Panzer IV has been eliminated in the center. And Kreiselficker loses quite a lot. Half-track still taking some damage here. Goes down to the AT gun. And again, Transistor has lost himself quite a bit. Doesn't really have much in the way of combat infantry and only has a 222 really to support. We see the mortar cover getting popped over here on the right-hand side. Getting a good hit there on that MG42, clearing it off. Pio's moving up and trying to repair that 222. The 222 is better in C3, so that's nice for it. And we see a... what is that? Ooh, the Brumbar. Sturmpanzer. I love the Brumbar, it's so cool. Commandos coming up behind the bunker. They seem to be wanting to lay down some demolition charges. Demolition charge does manage to destroy the bunker, so that's pretty good for them. We also see another anti-infantry strafing run on top of both of the commando squads. One retreats, one gets pinned down, so with the MG already shooting at it, it needs to get the hell out of there. Manages to decamp the point, but not going to be capping it. And we have Bicker's machine guns just set around the place. Cromwell getting built for DessertStorm, as Swiftsabre is not currently building anything. He has had his... Tier 2, I guess you can call it. It's kind of weird that you only have 2, but already down. So he could build some. Oh, there it goes. Now he's going to build. So I guess he didn't have the option to build before. He was kind of starved there for fuel. Infantry pushing over on the right-hand side. Pretty much the flank has been broken. We see the MG42 trying to get recovered there as the infantry section gets surrounding it. They do not manage to kill it off, apparently, although there goes down to one. Can they finish it off? There it goes. Gets killed. Brumbar now on the field, getting some good shots there with its artillery cannon. The infantry section inside the trench is going to get killed. Ooh, manages to dodge that quite nicely as it's in heavy cover and it impacts the surface there. Sniper, 8 kills so far, moving up. Gonna reveal itself and get killed by the Brumbar. Ooh, manages to take an aim at the Brumbar. Critical shot, and it damages what? Well, stunned it looks like, but doesn't really affect the Brumbar too much, especially without any form of anti-tank here. I mean, really, the sniper is the only thing that is doing anything. But we do have. Oh, it wasn't the. It wasn't a Cromwell. It was the Centaur, a Mark II cruiser tank. Swiftsabre, I think, though, did go for the Church. Ah, that's Churchill. Oh, never mind. Where is it? That's a very, very heavy tank. Not a very good tank, but, you know. Panther over on the right-hand side, catching that AA gun way out of position, going to be taking it out. We see an anti-tank strip coming up right on top of the AA gun, which has already been disabled. Gets itself killed, and the Panther stays alive at about half health, takes another shot. Oh, takes a shot from the side there as an AT gun came up behind it, and down goes the Panther, putting the Axis once again at a big disadvantage. We do have another Panther and the Brumbar on the field for Mr. Transistor, so he's the one able to hold the line. Kreiselficker is pretty much unable to do anything now. I mean, he has some caches on the field, which is kind of nice. It helps both, you know, him and his ally, but he only has 2 Grens on the field, and that's about it. He has built tier 4, so I'm assuming he's probably going to be saving that fuel and manpower to get another tank. But for now, he only has 2 Grens on the field, which can't really do anything. Victory points down to 51 for the Brits. They are cutting it rather close here. Pretty much at this stage of the game, they cannot afford to lose them. Otherwise, they would, you know, very quickly die. Air landing officer getting annihilated over here in the center point, down to 2 men. The Panther providing some support will help out enough to kill it. Retreats. Brumbar takes a shot. It misses. Grens taking some LMG shots, but they miss as well. And the officer manages to make it out of there. Cromwell moving up. The Panther going to be the bigger threat here. Faust going off on the Cromwell. The Cromwell not even going to feel that scratch. It is a very heavy tank. The Panther trying to move around to get a good angle on it and get decent damage on it. Sniper is right in front of the Cromwell, but the not the Cromwell, the Panther. But the Panther, really the threat here is from the AT guns. The AT guns doing quite a bit of damage here. Panther goes down, and the Churchill is able to just simply sit there and not to take relatively any damage. Pio in the center squad goes down to the phosphorus rounds, and yeah, that Churchill is just a beast. That is kind of the thing with the Brits, right? They have a very powerful potential late game, so you kind of have to beat them fast and whittle them down. It's kind of the difference with the US, right? Because they have a lot of power early on and a lot of access to medium tanks and such, but they don't have those heavy tanks, those late game Collins, those late game builds to be able to, you know, withstand a lot of power. Whereas the Churchill, well, that can just sit in front of anything and tank it for days. Panzer Grenadier squad, Death Squad on the field for Transistor, trying to go for the kills there on the Churchill. However, they themselves have gotten beaten up quite severely, down to 2 men each, forced to retreat. They had full anti-tank firepower, but no more anti-infantry firepower. We see a bombing top of something. Who knows what it hit? We also have the mortar emplacement now on the field for DessertStorm. We have the Bullforce on the field for DessertStorm. So now they get the ball rolling. They're able to lock down a lot of territory and such. The Churchill catching the Brumbar way out of position. Has taken some damage to its gun. I mean, it's still, you know, a threat. It does damage. Actually ends up shocking the crew. So the Brumbar may actually be able to make it out of there. But again, the Churchill is pretty much on face. We do have a Tiger race on the field now for Kreiselficker, as he goes, of course, for the Elite Troops Doctrine. Churchill taking quite a bit of damage, getting itself shocked again, getting stunned. Do we have AT guns nearby for support? No, we do not. So the Churchill will actually go down here to the Tiger race. The Tiger race is strong enough to defeat it. Oof. But we do see a strafing support run right on top of that Tiger. The Tiger now down to about half health, pops its smoke, and it looks like it is going to concede that engagement as it backs away from the Churchill, which is a smart idea considering both AT guns were moving in its direction and there is a loitering strafing support on top of it, so yeah. Really don't want to anger those planes, right? Strafe still in range, as you can see there on the mini-map. The Tiger needs to move the hell out of there. It does. Once it moves out of the way, actually it just sits there a little bit. I think it may actually still be in range. Over on the right-hand side, Panther breaking through the lines. We see the Royal Engineers getting upgraded with... What is that they have? Oh, they get an LMG. Okay, we also see a forward assembly over here on the right-hand side as the Churchill for Swiftsabre goes to engage the Panther. The Panther is pretty strong here. AT guns need to support it to be able to do enough. Shot flies, getting a crit on that, and down goes the Panther. Yeah, the Axis unable to really do too much there. They're just losing vehicles left and right. They need a little bit more ability to pick their fights. Transistor saying, unbelievable. Inconceivable. And, yeah. Far left-hand side, engineers sweeping some S minefields that have gone laid down there. Guns moving around to engage them, but not much going on. And yeah, the forward assembly is basically a forward retreat point that you can set up, and it allows you to, you know, control the battlefield a little bit easier. Of course, it serves to reinforce. It has the weapon racks if you have already researched them, so you're able to pick up weapons from there. So it's a pretty cool idea. And we see a lot of SMGs shooting at this cache. So the Axis don't really have too much. Tiger base is still alive, still getting repairs, but at least it's still alive. Needs a little bit more support. Like if the Panther that went down over on the right-hand side hadn't killed itself, they could get themselves together. Oh, Panzer Grenadiers getting annihilated here by Commandos, dropping 3 of their Panzer Grenadiers. That is deadly here. Jeez, that infantry section can pick it up if they wanted to. I mean, the officer could do it as well, but yeah, these guys can't. They're already filled up with 2 Shreks. And we see the Crocodile on the field for Desert Storm. We've already saw that before. It is ridiculously amazing. It is, of course, a Churchill, so it's ridiculously strong and heavy. And the Flamethrower is also ridiculously good at killing. Infantry section moving up. They have Shreks. They're going to fly their Shreks at that Grand Squad. Grand Squad stays alive. The tank. Transistor saying, do you have sheets? As they are just getting knocked down. I mean, the Brits have a... You know, it's evident that they have a very, very strong late game. We have Brits. Kind of the same thing, right? Infantry section with its Shreks going to be supporting that Crocodile. Oof. Managing to only impact the terrain, so not being too effective. But with the cutoff of this point, that Axis is essentially cut off from the rest of the map. Another support, getting some good hits there. It's strafing support, I should say. Getting some good hits on the Tiger. The Tiger down to about 30% strength. Needs to get chased down here. Another Churchill is moving in this direction. And the Crocodile is engaging the Tiger and pretty much able to go on it in a one-on-one. Tiger going for a weak point shot on the Churchill, managing to stun it. Maybe able to get itself out of there with that. Oof. Down goes the weapon of the Tiger. Tiger still alive though. No, there goes, down. Down for the count. And I think it's safe to say with all those planes flying above that the Brits have secured victory in the rails in the middle. Chances is saying, come on, you have cheats. No, they don't. They were just able to get into their late game and dominate. Golden Tiger trying to be a hero here. Infantry section just taking the shots, but I mean the Churchill's just reigning supreme, being very, very gleeful in the... Yeah, the Churchills are just ridiculously strong. They're very heavy. I mean, to the point where not even the Panther, which is designed against anti-tank, is able to penetrate against it. So yeah. So yeah, the Churchill's now able to just simply waltz their way inside the enemy base. Either the game is gonna end by, you know, annihilation, or... Oh yeah, also remember that the Churchill has a crew self-defense, so they're able to throw grenades. It's a tank that can throw grenades. Oh man. Seems a little bit broken in some instances. Panther once again for Transistor over here on the right-hand side manages to finally break the spawner there, the retreat point. But it has gotten itself damage on the engine. The AT gun is able to keep track of it. It is, of course, going to have to reacquire its target. And Transistor insists that cheats are what is going on here. So, yeah, Panther goes down, of course, as it, of course, would. Crocodile and standard Churchill's just moving around. And, yeah, I guess we just wait until they decide that the game has come to a close. So Kreiselficker has built himself a Panther, so, you know, he still wants to put up a good fight. Transistor doesn't have anything left. Does have his buildings. And, yeah, I mean, I can understand the frustration of Transistor. He, you know, they brought the Brits down to 51. And yeah, I mean, felt like they maybe had it, but yeah, I mean, like DessertStorm said, they lost a lot of stuff. I mean, they managed to inflict a decent amount of damage, and yeah, once they got those Churchills going, they were able to just steamroll over everything, as there wasn't enough anti-tank present to combat that.
Jerry has 300 points remaining.
So I should just end the game here, but I don't like to be, you know, that guy and just end the game. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to accelerate it as nothing is happening. Oh, there you go. Surrenders. And they throw in the towels. So there you go. The power of the Churchills. Just wrecking everything and not losing a single one. I mean, we have this one with 6 kills, being 2 vehicles destroyed and 4 infantry. This one is Veteran T2, has 9 kills, 7 infantry, and 2 buildings. And then we have the Crocodile, which has 16 kills with 15 infantry and a building being destroyed. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.